ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Let us chant the first 5 verses of Bhaja Govindam.
Venkat, we are not able to hear you.
Haribo, still not able to hear you. Hear me?
We are able to
Haribo?
hear you. We are able to hear you. Sir, you can check பண்ணுங்க sir.
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate.
Really able to hear Venkat? I'm not able to hear. Is anybody able to hear him?
Sir, I am able to hear both of you. I am able
Okay,
to hear
right.
Venkat and
Yeah,
you
continue.
also.
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukran karane. Mudhajahi dhanagama trishnam kuru sadbuddhim manasi vitrishnam. Yallabhase nijakarmopatam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. Naristana bharanabhidesham drishtva magamohavesham. Yetanmansavasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tatvajivitamatishaya chapalam. Vidhi vyadhyabhimanagrastam lokam shokahatam cha samastam. Yavat vitto pachana saktahatavan nija parivaro raktaha. Paschajivati jajaradehe vatham kopi na prachati gehe.
Once again, I'm checking on my speaker. I'm not able to hear anything. I think there is something wrong with my speaker here. You are able to hear me, no?
Yes, sir.
Then it's okay. Doesn't matter. I don't want to hear anybody. We are starting the new text, Bhaja Govindam. One of the introductory textbooks to the study of Vedanta is this Bhaja Govindam. And when we say introductory textbook, what we mean by an introductory textbook is there is a particular concept that will be highlighted in this book. Some particular idea will be explained. What is it that we are going to study in this Bhaja Govindam? Bhaja Govindam has a single-pointed focus. Single-pointed focus on developing the mumukshu bhava in a human being. The purpose of Bhaja Govindam is to develop the mumukshu bhava. Mumukshu bhava means developing the thirst for liberation. Easy to talk about liberation, but to develop the thirst for liberation is very difficult. Again, it's very easy to talk about liberation, but to develop the thirst for liberation is very difficult. So, Bhaja Govindam is very unique in the sense of creating this thirst for liberation. So, Bhaja Govindam, understand it as mumukshu bhava. Mukshu bhava. Bhava means that which you have identified with. You have jiva bhava now. You have sharira bhava now. Because you have identified with the sharira, because you have identified with the jiva, you believe deep down you are that. No understanding or no vision of mumukshatva, no vision of the higher. Why no vision of the higher? Because the mind is so caught up in the desires and the acquisitions and the enjoyment. All that the human mind wants to do is to acquire, and whatever is acquired, we want to enjoy. Like somebody, quite a few told me, sir, we have studied Bhaja Govindam already, no? They said, we have studied Bhaja Govindam already. I said, yeah, we studied Bhaja Govindam already, but nothing happened out of that study, so we will study it again. Yeah, we study it. Why not we study some other book now? Why not we study Tattva Bodha? Why not we study Viveka Chudamani? Why not we study Panchadasi? To list out the number of books itself will take a 3-year program, not opening the book. How many books that is available itself is a 3-year program. And then each and every book will be one Janma program. And that too the way that I am talking about it. Oh my God, I don't even know when I will finish even one book. Therefore, I said, no way, we have a set of books and we will go on and on and on repeating those. We will go on and on repeating those books only. So, Bhaja Govindam is a beautiful introductory textbook. Little bit we have to talk about Bhaja Govindam. Little bit we have to talk about Shankaracharya, the author of the author of the book, and then we will go into the actual scheme of the Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam contains 31 verses. Of the 31 verses, again it is divided into two. Dvadasha Manjarika Stotram and Chaturdasha Manjarika Stotram. Again, the 31 verses is divided into two groups. Dvadasha Manjarika Stotram and the Chaturdasha Manjarika Stotram. Actually, what happened is, Shankara spontaneously spoke 12 verses. The first verse is a chorus. Traditionally, what they will do, first verse will be sung as the chorus. At the end of each and every verse, they will again repeat the first verse. Mooda jahi janagama trishna kurushat buddhim manasi vitrishna yallabase nija karmopatam vittam dena vinodaya chittam. They will not go to the next verse. They will say, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate, Samprapte, Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati, Duprin Karne. So each and every verse will be followed by the chorus. So actually what is happening?
You are muted.
Of the 31 verses, the 12 is called Dvadasha Manjarika Stotra. So verses 1 to 12 is by Adi Shankaracharya. The 14 disciples inspired sang one verse on the same theme. That is Chaturdasha Manjarika Stotra. And then, pleased by the verses, Shankara adds up another 4 verses in the end, totally coming to 31 verses. This is the Bhaja Govindam. This is the Bhaja Govindam. The background of Bhaja Govindam we have seen in some other textbooks, in some other things, and anyway, it is worth repeating it again and again and again. Adi Shankaracharya, what we will refer to Shankaracharya henceforth. We will not say Adi Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya means it is that. So Shankaracharya was walking on the streets of Kashi with his 14 disciples. As they were walking, they came across an old person, a 90-year-old person, advanced age, struggling to understand something from a book called, there is this Panini's book of grammar called Siddhanta Kaumudi. In that Siddhanta Kaumudi, there are many formulas. Of the very many formulas, there is one formula called Dukrin Karne. It's a formula. So at that advanced age from that book Siddhanta Kaumudi, now don't start Googling all this. Huh? You can Google, nothing will understand. That's why whatever I say, you can Google also, I will have no problem. Because you will not continue the 3 sentences, you will not read. So there is this book Siddhanta Kaumudi, which is authoritative book on Panini's grammar. In that Panini's grammar book, there are a lot of formulas. Of that formula, there is one formula called Dukrin Karne. See, when we go into the first verse, we will read all that. We will try to understand a little bit of the formula and all that. Why he is studying that and what is the importance of that. When Shankara saw him at that advanced age, still trying to understand, Shankara felt very compassionate for him. Thought, instead of singing the Lord's glories and seeking moksha and getting liberated, why are you still stuck in mundane activity? Please remember, the highest study of the Shastra, he is calling it as mundane activity. Remember that. To us and all, he won't even talk, I think. He will not even waste his time talking to us. The very highest study of the Shastra, which that old man was doing, reading this book, Siddhanta Kaumudi, trying to understand this Panini Sutra, Dukrin Karane, Shankaracharya is telling him, why are you wasting your time in mundane activity? Instead of turning your attention towards Godhood and liberation and self-realization, you are still caught up in this mundane activities. Looking at that, he felt such a compassion, such an affection for that person. He started talking. That is the Bhaja Govindam. That's where you find nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. We keep repeating in the sloka when we chant Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukran Karne. Dukran Karne is a formula. Formula meaning a mundane activity which is meaningful at one level, not to be continued as a lifetime pursuit. You take to these pursuits for a temporary period of time, leave it and mature. This is the scheme of life. Now you understand what is the Vedic scheme of life. The Vedantic scheme of life is this. You get into certain pursuits for a period of time only to understand that you have to get out. We have gotten in and we are so convinced that we should not get out at all. In fact, we will make more and more and more efforts to cement the bondage. Instead of understanding, I have to use it as a stepping stone to get out, the human being continues to cement the bondage. What is the bondage? First bondage. Somehow I have to survive. That's our bondage number one. I have to survive. That's it. How I will survive differs from person to person. Somebody will say 3 meals a day is enough. Rented house, 3 meals a day is enough. Another person will say rented house and 3 meals a day is not enough. My own house and 3 meals a day is enough. Another person says not my own house, fully air conditioned house. Now, doesn't matter what it is. How you want to pursue it doesn't matter. But the first pursuit of it is what? Somehow you want to survive. Keep yourself alive. So the first goal of a human being is what? Survive. Not only I survive, I should also ensure that first I should survive. Then what should survive? What is the next one that should survive? I should survive. My family should survive. I should survive. My family should survive. All the human plannings, efforts, etc., is directed towards only one goal. What is that one goal? I survive. My children should survive. If possible, my grandchildren also should survive. If I am still alive, my great-grandchildren also should be alive. Vedanta, Vedic way of life is not saying get rid of them, they all should die. That's not they are saying. The pursuit of human life is so restricted to what? Mere survival, procreate, ensure that what you have procreated survives. You survive. See, what is, according to a buffalo, what is the successful life of a buffalo? Perfect life, successful life of a buffalo. Vijay, kelvi puriyudha? Supposing you ask a buffalo, what is the successful life? According to you, what is the successful life? What it will say? First, I have to be born without birth complications. After being born, I should not die at very young age of diseases or getting caught by the lion or the tiger or the leopard. And then I should survive. First, I should be born. I should be survive without any diseases, etc. I should grow. And then what I should do? In order to survive, what I will do? What are some skill? Everybody will have some skill. Yeah. IT skill for what? Carpentry skill for what? Vedanta teaching skill for what? எல்லாம் ஒரே survival தான். உதர நிமித்தம் பகுகிருத வேஷக பஜகோவிந்தம். This text is like, oh my God. You can read and read and read. In fact, you can do just Bhajagovindame repeated, you can keep reading. Beautiful text. Because the pursuit is what? In all this, don't forget what is a successful life for a buffalo. Survive, grow, survive, grow, healthy, and then procreate, save that which you have procreated. Old age, I have done my duties now. I have done all my duties and now I can die peacefully. He is the successful life of a Yarguba Vijay. Buffalo. Clear. This is what a buffalo will say as a successful life. Replace buffalo with whatever you want to replace it with. I'm not saying what you should replace. Replace that. What does the human being also say? Human being also says, what is successful life? Born in a very good family, sir, very good parenting, good childhood, a very good set of friends, good schools, good teacher, educated well, got married, got job, career, married, produced children. I have brought up my children in a very orthodox, traditional, modern yet traditional. அது என்ன combination? I am still trying to figure that out. Modern yet traditional, and they are also well settled. Now I am ready to die. அப்போ கூட ready to die வராது. Dukrin karane. Some pursuit you will be stuck with some pursuit. What is the pursuit? Now that my family and all is not listening to me, you tried. 60 years you tried. Family is not listening. Wife is not listening. Children is not listening. Grandchildren is not listening. At least for WhatsApp group form பண்ணி start spreading the message to humanity. அதுக்கு ஒரு வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப் வேற வந்துடும். அதுக்கு நான் வேற மெசேஜ் போட்டு கொடுக்கணும். Oh my God. Nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. There is no vision of anything. There is no vision of the divine at all. If at all there is the divine is seen only in relation to what? Making sure that the birth is all right, making sure that the growth is all right, making sure that the job is all right, making sure my children will be all right. So God is also given a role. What is the role that is given to God now? Family, our பார்க்கலன்னா வேற யார் சார் பார்க்க போறாங்க? If I can't go to God, then who else will I? Okay. Are you able to follow? In this pursuit, what is one thing that is not attended to at all? The divine is not at all attended to. Number one. Number two, even at the last stage in life, the human being will be stuck. He's not saying change at the last stage. He's saying if you have been living a life like, if you have been living life like this, your last stage in life also will be like this. There cannot be a sudden change and all in the last stage of life. If at all there is a change in the last stage of life, it is more of a fear of what's going to happen now. So, what is the unique feature of a human being that is lost in this pursuit? In the so-called pursuit of a successful life, a unique feature of human being is lost. What is the unique feature of human being that is lost? The unique feature of human being that is lost is Purushartha. The free will is lost. That Purushartha is lost. The Purushartha, the free will is lost. Scriptures are addressed to whom? Scriptures are addressed to those who are willing to exercise their purushartha towards betterment. Towards betterment means moksha. Again, scriptures are addressed, shastras are addressed to those who are willing to exercise their purushartha. Now, purushartha means what in English? The free will, the choice. The free will, the choice, the purushartha. The animal says, I have no purushartha at all. I have no free will at all. This is what I can do. I can't do anything more than this. A buffalo will turn back and say, I can't do anything more than this. Why are you coming and giving me a discourse on moksha, liberation, Brahman and all that? For I cannot do anything other than being born, somehow survive, procreate and ensure that they survive. I cannot think or I cannot do anything other than this. If you have this notion about life, you are as good as an animal, and Shastra is not available to you. Shastra will not be of any help to you. Now, where does this Shastra come in now? A human being is willing to accept one thing. What? This way of life is not the ultimate way of living. This way of life is not the realistic way of living. Therefore, I want to change the direction. I want to change. When I say I want to change the direction and want to change, what becomes available to you? The scripture becomes available to you. Till that time, scripture will be there. You may be talking on the scripture. You may be writing on the scripture. You may be a very good exponent of the scripture, but deep down, you will be following like Dukran Karne only. So, first thing that Shankara says in Bhaja Govindam is what? Are you considering changing your direction? The student says, not now, later. Student will not say no. The student will say, not now, later. Why not now? Because something more important is there for now. Once I finish that which is more important, I will come. Not now, later. That which makes you to postpone the divine is a mundane activity. Understand the definition of a mundane activity. What is mundane activity? That which convinces you to postpone the divine. That which convinces you that something of the world is far more important than the divine. I will finish this and then come to you. Because you look at where are you? Where can God go? So please wait. Nobody will say, I am not interested. Everybody will say, help me to finish a few things first. Once I finish with these few things, then I will come to you. At the old age also, it will not get. At what stage it will get finished? It will never get finished. Shankaracharya and Bhaja Govindam starts with a more realistic, practical understanding of human nature. Puranic stories starts with a beautiful description. Same thing. The Puranic stories also start like that. The king in the in the Puranic story. Yayati, the king. Yayati, the king, was so busy expanding his kingdom, he didn't know. Yama came, 1,000 years. Yama came and said, now it's time for you to come with me. What did Yayati say? Wait, how cruel are you? இப்பதான் அக்விசிஷனே முடிஞ்சிருக்குது, isn't it? அக்விசிஷன் முடிஞ்சு பார்டர்ஸ் எல்லாம் கிளியர் ஆகி பாம்பிங் எல்லாம் போட்டுக்கிட்டு எல்லாம் சரியாயி now only everything is settling down. Even before it is settling down, you are coming and taking me away. How unfair are you? How cruel are you? How bad are you? Wait. Yama said, how long? Just another 1,000 years. That's all. Another just 1,000 years. He said, okay. Yama went. Again, Yama came after 1,000 years. Yayati told Yama, what? Thank you for giving, I'm very grateful to you for giving me this 1,000 years. I'm consolidating. Acquisition got over. Now only I'm in the consolidating phase. Now that I'm in the consolidating phase, don't disturb me. Yama said, how many years you want? Another 1,000 years. 3,000 years went. Yama came back the third time. What did Yayati say? Acquired, consolidated, but smooth transition has to happen, no? Correct? First you have to acquire, and then you have to consolidate, and then what should happen finally? Smooth? What do they call it? From one fellow, it will move on to the next fellow. The transference has to be, so I have to transfer it. That is still pending. Another 1,000 years. Yama said, see, every time I come, you are asking bargain, 1,000 years, 1,000 years, 1,000 years. Now I cannot leave empty-handed. Somebody must come with me. You choose who you want to send, but somebody has to come with me. Yayati said, I have 100 sons. Of the 100, one I will send with you. Yama said, okay. Yayati called all his 100 sons. The eldest son, please go with Yama, proxy. Going with Yama, now you understand, no? You understand, no? Going with Yama is not taking a flight for 3 weeks and coming back. Going with Yama means you understand what it is. The eldest son said, you are 3,000 years old. I am 2,600 years old. I am waiting for you to vacate the seat. Then only I can do something. Why are you not? So logically speaking, who should go? Yayat, you should go and I should become. Correct, no? Correct, isn't it? You can't find fault with him. So each and every son said, no. Finally, there was the youngest boy, 11-year-old fellow. He came to the father and said, I will go with, because he was watching all this. He said, I will go with Yama. Yama told that boy that you are so young, you don't understand what it is to come with me. You don't know. Young you are, they are cheating you and sending you with me. Boy said, no. I have seen my father. I have seen all this entire conversation. From this one thing I have understood. What? One thing I have understood very clearly. What? These mundane pursuits are futile. It is futile. Absolutely Futile. Yes, sir, it is futile, but கொஞ்சம் ஜாஸ்தியாவே இருக்கட்டுமே. We will say, even though it is futile, but why not have the futile in abundance is our problem. Shastra will not be available to this person who is having this mindset. Teaching, Shastra will not be available to this. It means what? It means you have understood. What do you understand? The pursuit is futile. The pursuit is futile. Yama says, how many times I tell you? How many times I am proving to you? How many times I am proving with those around you that all that you do is futile. All that you do is futile. 3 days you will cry. 4 days you will cry. Fifth day, ready to go back into the same chakkar. The man will go to the funeral and keep looking at the watch, isn't it? Man will go to the funeral and keep looking at the watch. For what? To go back into the mundane activity where one day this fellow is also going to come back here only. If at all there is one thought, oh my God, this is what is going to happen to me also. If this is going to be the end of all pursuits, what are we even doing? For this person, Shastras becomes very meaningful. To this person who has this thinking, Shastra becomes very, very meaningful. To that person, Shastra will say, Vedanta will come and say, the Upanishad comes and says, from the beginning, there are these two paths. This is Bhaja Govindam. From the beginning of life, there are these two paths. What are the two paths? Shreyaha and Priyam. The path of the Shreyas and the path of the pleasant. The path of the good and the path of the pleasant. In Kathopanishad, Yama says there are these two paths. One is good, while another is pleasant. Blessed is that one who chooses rightly. Blessed is that one who chooses rightly. What is the choice that he is making? From the pleasant to the good. Dukrin karne, mundane activity is the path of the pleasant. The good is the path towards moksha, liberation. One who chooses the pleasant loses the reality. Both the good and pleasant are there. The wise person examines them thoroughly. Mundakopanishad. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano. Examine this world. Do pariksha. Bhaja Govindam is going to help us to do this pariksha because we can't do it by ourselves. Bhaja Govindam, throughout Bhaja Govindam, he is helping us to do this pariksha. Pariksha lokan karmachitan. Mundakopanishad said. Even Kathopanishad also he says, examine the Shreyas and the Priyam. The Shreyas and the Priyam The wise man understands and makes the right choice. The wise one chooses the path of the Shreyas. The ignorant one chooses the path of the pleasant. And why he chooses the path of the pleasant? For the sake of the body, for getting another body and keeping the body alive. You get a body and try to keep the body alive. You get a body and try to keep the body alive. What else a human being is doing? Oh, I'm not sleeping, I'm not sleeping, I'm not sleeping, I'm not getting sleep. This problem is happening, that problem is happening, this is happening. All because of what? The fear of somehow have to keep the body, have that moha that moha, that craving, that avarice, the attachment to the body makes you to choose the path of the priyam. The moment you have the courage to drop that, you have the right knowledge. It means what? Viveki is one who has chosen the path of the Shreyas. Mudaha is one who is stuck to the path of the Priyam. Understand this. Viveki, aviveki. Viveki or Mudaha. Mudaha is one who is stuck to the path of the pleasant. Now, what is Shankaracharya trying? Bhaja Govindam is a conversion program. Purida, Narayana. Bhaja Govindam is a conversion program. What is the conversion program? From Mudaha to Viveki. From Mudaha to Viveki. Are you okay till now? Individually, you try to convert from Mudaha to Viveki. Don't try to convert those around you. Leave them aside. They will take care of themselves. Correct, sir. After this lecture is over, call everybody in the family and say, we know what happened today. Mudaha. You are all Mudaha. From Mudaha, you all should become Vivekini. You don't start your lecture, Sunil. You don't start your lecture. Just leave them alone. Poor thing. Just leave them alone. All that you have to do is what? You convert from Mudaha to Viveki. In fact, the theme of all Vedantic literature, the theme of all Vedantic Shastra is this conversion program. What is the conversion program? From Mudaha to Viveki. To convert every human being into a mumukshu. To convert every human being, to make them choose the infinite, make life meaningful, purposeful. Other than moksha, anything you do is samsara. Anything other than moksha is samsara. The intellect is so confused. The human intellect is so confused. Confused intellect is no intellect. You can say for all practical purposes, confused intellect will be called as no intellect. What is the confusion? Moha. Intellect is confused because of moha. What is moha? That which is not there, you see. That which is there, you don't see. Again, that which is not there, you see. That which is there, you don't see. Why? Because the intellect is so deluded by the path of the pleasant. Intellect is so deluded by the path of the pleasant That is why another title for Bhaja Govindam is called Moha Mudgaraha. Moha Mudgara. Moha Mudgaraha. Moha Mudgara means Moha means confusion, delusion, indiscrimination. Mudgara is hammer. Hammer. You understand hammer? Sutti. Yeah. Moha Mudgaraha means destroyer of. இப்போ ஹேமரால் அடிச்சா என்ன ஆகும்? Yeah. Moha goes away. That's why it's called Moha. Moha Mudgara. See, Mudgara is hammer. He goes, he hits again and again and again. He will hit. People say Bhaja Govindam paints a very gloomy picture of life, sir. அடி வாங்கும்போது கொஞ்சம் gloomy-ஆ தான் இருக்கும், isn't it? When you are hammered, how it will feel? You will not take your head and say, give one more. No. You will want to run away. So another name for Bhaja Govindam is called Moha. Moha Mudgara. Why it is called Moha Mudgara? It doesn't understand. It's covered by thick delusion. Delusion hitting hammer. Bhaja Govindam na enna artham? Moha Mudgara. So from now on, whenever you hear Bhaja Govindam, what you should hear? Moha Mudgara. அதெல்லாம் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கலாம். If you forget all this also, it doesn't matter. Hammer. You are being hammered ன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, அவ்வளவுதான். Bhaja Govindam means you are being hammered. What is the hammer? There is a very famous sloka, Vairagya Shatakam, by Bhartrihari. There are so many Vedantic books. Beautiful books is this Vairagya Shatakam. Like Atma Shatakam, this is called Vairagya Shatakam. Very famous set of hymns by Bhartrihari. In that he says, what is moha? What is the mahima of moha, he says. Moha mahima, the glory of moha. How glorious this moha is, impossible to conceive. Moha mahima, he says. What is this moha? The burning power of the fire, the insect doesn't understand it. It jumps into the fire. It doesn't understand the burning power of the fire. Not understanding the burning power of the fire, what the insect does? It goes and embraces the fire only to get roasted. But it will not. But it cannot stop. It cannot stop the embrace. Sir, I'm not able to let go, sir. Much ever we know, we are not able to let go. It means what? Moha. Some more hammering is required. The fish bites the hook, thinking that it is food, but actually what it is? It's a trap. It's a bait. It doesn't understand that what appears as food is your trap. It doesn't understand that. This is moha. Are you able to understand the definition of moha? Bhartrihari, he gives a beautiful definitions. Some of these definitions that these masters comes up with are so. He says it is a trap, but it looks like, but the fish sees it as food. Now, how can you go and convince the fish? Don't get hooked. You can give a lecture to the fish. You can give a lecture to the fish and say, don't get hooked. But in reality, it will get. Similarly, he says the human being, how many ever times they hear the Shastras and scriptures, like the insect will go and embrace the fire, like the fish will go and get trapped. And it gets into this trap again and again and again. What is the trap? Dukkha and Naraka is the consequence of the trap. What is the consequence of this trap? Dukkha and Naraka. Dukkha means present day suffering. Naraka means future suffering. Again, Dukkha means inniki suffering. Naraka means future suffering. Naliki suffering. Amongst all this suffering, what is the joy that a human being experiencing? Another saint explained what is this joy? The human being hanging precariously on a branch. Ground, there is a tiger waiting. The branch can break and fall into the lake. There is a crocodile waiting. There is a crocodile waiting here. There is a tiger. If he comes down the tree, he is caught. If the branch breaks, he is lost. But at least let me sit on the branch. A python is climbing. A python is climbing. So there is the python, there is the tiger, there is the crocodile. In all these things, in all these, what happens? We have given this example any number of times, no? In all this precarious situation, what happens? From the honeycomb above, a drop of honey is dripping. In this, a drop of honey is dripping. What does the human being do? Is the sukham. The sukham of the human being is that drop dripping from the honey, from the honeycomb, while what is waiting? The python, the crocodile, the tiger. This is called moha delusion. Able to understand? What is moha now? That drop of honey makes you to forget all these. Even before you can enjoy the drop of honey, what happens? You are lost. So it means what? Moha. How does he hammer the moha? Sadhana, sadhya. The means and the goal. The means and the end. How does he hammer? He hammer it in two ways. The means and the end. Sadhana and sadhya. Sadhya means the goal, the end. Moha means not having the clarity of the goal and the path that is going to take you to the goal. This is moha. In practicality, in practical life, how do you understand moha? The lack of clarity on the goal and the path that is taking you to the goal. Are you okay till now? Okay. Who fixes the goal for the human being? Who fixes the goal? Shastra doesn't fix the goal. Shastra doesn't fix the goal. The Guru doesn't fix the goal. God doesn't fix the goal. At birth itself, you know what you want. At birth itself, the goal is clear. Moha is not knowing the path that is going to take you to the goal. Again, I repeat. Who fixes the goal? I said moha means confusion between the path and the goal. Now the question is this: who fixes the goal? At birth itself, you know the goal. What is the goal? Peace, security, happiness, freedom. These are all the goals. At birth itself, you know that. Remember that. Shastra doesn't come and tell you, look for peace. Shastra doesn't come and tell you, look for happiness. Because this peace, this security, this happiness, this freedom, what in Bhaja Govindam, later on we are going to see it as dukkha nivritti and sukha prapti. This not wanting dukkham at all, wanting sukham only, always, permanently, is the goal that everybody is seeking from birth. Therefore, the goal is not set by the Shastra. Now, then where does Shastra come in? Where does Vedanta comes in? Where does knowledge comes in? The Vedanta, the knowledge of Shastra comes in only in telling you which path you have to take to get to that goal. So, the Shastra is always going to tell you the path that is going to take you to the goal, not the goal. Remember this, not the goal. Even a newborn child doesn't want to be unhappy, no? Even a newborn child wants to be happy, smiling, pleasant, freedom, no? Isn't it? It means what? All of us know the goal. Peace, security, happiness, freedom. These are all the goals, ultimately, permanently. We want ultimate peace. All these four are non-negotiable. Correct? In the four, one of these four, can you let go of any one? All these four are non-negotiable goals. Where comes clarity? What is the path that is going to take you to what is the path? That path is what Bhaja Govindam is all about. For that, it tries various methodology of teaching. It tries to teach us. What is it teaching? It sees what level of mumukshatva does a human being is having. It's called Manda, Madhyama, Tivra. Manda means no mumukshatva at all. Madhyama means here and there it comes, but not yet stabilized. Tivra means serious, committed, seeker. All three will get the benefit of Bhaja Govindam. All three will get the benefit of studying Bhagavad Gita Upanishads. If you are Manda Mumukshatva means God is the last item. What do they call? Bucket list. Oh, correct? Is that the word they use nowadays? Bucket list. Manda na bucket list la God kadasiyila irukum. Ingyo somewhere it will be. Madhyama means somewhere in between. Some kicks, some knocks and shocks of life will wake a person up. Tivra mumukshatva means one who is all worldly, mundane pursuit, desires are swallowed by this one desire. All worldly desire gets eaten up, gets swallowed, gets digested by this one desire. And that one desire is called mumukshatva. At the 87-year-old person also is not dropping the mundane, is not dropping the mundane activity. அப்போ கூட is not dropping the mundane activity. இல்லையா? அப்போ கூட ஷேர் மார்க்கெட் பத்தி கவலை, isn't it? அப்போ கூட ஷேர் மார்க்கெட் பத்தி worry, இன்ஃப்ளேஷன் பத்தின இன்ஃப்ளேஷன், ஷேர் மார்க்கெட், prices are rising. அப்போ what? All that you need is 2 idlis in the morning and 1 dosa in afternoon, fasting in the night. That's your health condition, isn't it? In that health condition, what difference does it make the inflation? What difference does it make? Another couple of years, memory itself won't be there what you have, isn't it? You will you will even lose the memory of what you have. Even at that point of time, the person will not, even at that point of time, the person will not let go. Shankara's method is get back to the knowledge, get back to the right knowledge, understand the path and the goal, for which he gave us a beautiful set of hymns called Bhaja Govindam. The beauty of Bhaja Govindam is it can be chanted as a shloka and it can be understood at deep philosophical content also. So we do both. We do both. Little bit about Shankaracharya now before we go into the verses. Because you talk about the introduction, you talk about the moha and all that. A few things also has to be told about Shankara. If at all the festivals are worshipped today, all the festivals are kept alive in this country, all the culture and tradition are kept alive in this country. If you are still celebrating Diwali, Ram Navami, Krishna Jayanti, all that, everything is because of this one man, Shankara. This is the glory of this man, Shankara. Personally, I always used to think Guru Purnima should be shifted to Shankara Jayanti. Because Vyasa Purnima was then before Shankara. After Shankara, it is this one man's contribution. If it is Shankara that made us, it is Shankara that kept the knowledge alive, that kept the culture alive, kept the tradition alive, and we are able to celebrate and remember all these things because of this one man's work. This man is extraordinary. That's why in the Shankara Vijayam he is, and it is true also. Only it's not a job that can be done by an ordinary human being. A great avatara Purusha he is Adi Shankara. His name itself means Loka Sangraha. Shankara means Loka Sangraha. Shamkaroti iti Shankara. That's the meaning. Shankara is, again, say all Sanskrit words are combined words only. They combined Shankara, Sham plus Kara. So Sanskrit root. Shamkaroti iti Shankara. actually, because of the linguistic way of pronunciation, it looks like Shankara, but actually, when you write, they write it like Shamkara. It is Sham, not Sang. Sham karoti iti Shamkara. Like Sanskrit and Sanskrit. It's not Sanskrit. It is Sanskrit. It is Sam. The root is Sam. One whose actions brings Sukham, Ananda to everybody is called Shankara. Shankar, புரியுதா? அவர் பேர் வச்சிருக்கிறார் Shankar. One whose action brings joy, Sukham, Anandam to everybody around is called Shankara. Shankaraன்னு பேர் வச்சுன்னு துக்கா கொடுத்தா அவருக்கு சம்கரான்னு பேர் கிடையாது, துக்ககரான்னு பேர் கிடையாது. Isn't it? It's not Shamkara. Shamkaroti iti Shankara. Not only he did actions, he also taught people where true Sham lies. Where is this true Sham lies? Extraordinary work he has done. Extraordinary work in terms of karma, extraordinary work in terms of bhakti, and extraordinary work in terms of jnanam. You'll always find somebody will be predominantly jnanam oriented and not so much bhakti karma oriented. Somebody will be bhakti oriented, not so much the other. One person in history where you find the combination of all the three perfectly. A Tyagaraja cannot write a Gita Bhashya. Tyagaraja cannot write a Gita Bhashya. One who writes a Gita Bhashya cannot write a Saundarya Lahari. Understand the difference. A person who can write a Gita Bhashya will not be able to write a Saundarya Lahari. A person who is writing Saundarya Lahari cannot write a Brahma Sutra Bhashya. Now, Shankara wrote the Brahma Sutra Bhashya. If at all Vedanta is still alive today, see, all that we are talking, 99% of what we are talking is borrowed from him only. We simply don't say it is Shankara, and people think it is all our original stories. Everybody till date has to copy from Shankara only, and we don't regret copying from him. And he didn't have copyrights. We don't mind copying him. Why? Because he is so complete a master in terms of jnanam, so complete a master in terms of bhakti, and so complete a master in terms of karma also. Why? He traveled by foot all over the country. He traveled by foot all over the country and established mutts. Even today, the unbroken tradition, even today the lineage is continuing, unbroken, and it will continue. Unbroken lineage. He established mutts in four parts, in four corners of the country. Karma Yoga, that is. Where will you get a combination of karma, bhakti, and jnanam combined in a human form? Looks like all Puranic, all this looks like a Puranic person can do it. Not an actual human being. But here, Shankara came to us and did that. Not only he revived the culture, he established, he also exposed the fallacies of all non-Vedic religions. If at all we say Vedanta is logical, scientific, because of whom? He is the one who made it logical. He is the one who made it scientific. You take the Upanishads, you will not find a logical coherence of thought there. It is very difficult to find the logical sequence in a Upanishad. Vyasa did a Brahma Sutra, which is like he put the entire Upanishads into a formula type, Brahma Sutras. And the Brahma Sutra is more complicated than the Upanishads themselves. Now, what Shankara came and did, he blended everything. What did he blend? He blended karma, he blended bhakti, he blended jnana. Temple worship. Even today, most of the temples, they find a pride in saying the yantra here is established by Adi Shankara. This place was visited by Adi Shankara. Even today, most of the temples claim his visit itself is the very Shankaracharya visit, the very him consecrating, very him putting in yantra itself is very, it means what? How can a person write a Brahma Sutra Bhashya which is like so precise and so cutting? Three of his introductions. One is the Brihadaranyaka introduction, Brihadaranyaka Bhashya introduction. Another is Bhagavad Gita introduction. Another is Brahma Sutra introduction. Shankara's Bhashya introduction I'm talking about. How can a person write such a extraordinary mathematical work and then write a hymn like Bhaja Govindam Saundarya Lahari? Having done that, how can he do this work of going about building temples, keeping the culture alive, and telling how worship should happen, create the pattern of worship, etc. This is how we say Shankara is a perfect combination of ideal, perfect combination of karma, bhakti, jnanam, where no master has been able to achieve that combination that he has achieved. If you always find one master will be focusing on one and kind of ridiculing or not paying attention to the other two. A predominantly jnana person will always focus on the jnanam and they will not pay attention to karma and bhakti, or to an extent they will even ridicule these two. Similarly, bhakti, similarly, karma. You will never find a master who knew the role of all the three, integrated all the three, created a system where all the three can be kept alive. All the Westerners, all the Western thinkers who studied Vedanta and glorified Vedanta philosophy, they studied Shankara Bhashya. Do you know that? All of them studied the Shankara Bhashya of Vedanta, and then they came and said, wow, this Vedanta is extraordinary. Who helped them to understand the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, decoded it, Shankara. So his work is relevant even today. That's why in our study of books, we studied two books of Shankara, Bhaja Govindam and Atma Bodha. See, you read Atma Bodha, which is like a completely different treatise. You come to Bhaja Govindam, it's complete. You can't understand that a same person can read, a same person can do. It's true. That's why it's called Jagat Guru. It's called Jagat Guru. Adi Shankara is a Jagat Guru. Jagat Guru means universal. Jagat Guru means a universal teacher. Universal teacher. He kept the karma alive. He kept the bhakti alive. He kept the jnanam alive. And he never took any sides of promoting one and ridiculing or dismissing the other two. He laid down the Prasthanatraya. Prasthanatraya means the steps. The steps. Karma Bhakti combination, Karma Bhakti Shravana Manana combination. Do all this. gather inner maturity, and then come to that inner maturity that you develop by this karma, bhakti, sravana, manana is what is called vairagya. That vairagya is a prerequisite to gaining knowledge. And once you gain this knowledge, you understand the limitations of all these. And then at the last stage, you will drop the very pursuit of jnanam. At the last stage, you will drop the very pursuit of jnanam itself. The path that he has laid out for us is so complete. In fact, we can talk about Shankara. Shankara life itself can be studied separately. That man has so much in his life. The Bhashyas he wrote, the Upanishads, Upanishad Bhagavad Gita he explained as Bhashyas. And to ensure that the Bhashyas are rightly understood, he wrote introductory textbooks. Atma Bodha, Viveka Chudamani, all this. Following the tradition, there are so many other books that comes much following the train, following the same tradition of Shankara. The intellectual caliber. The devotional heights. If you have to understand his devotional heights, his hymns are the poetry, the beauty, the language. Oh my God, what amount of emotion that man should be having to write a hymn like that. We will fall off to sleep. Second sloka, we will fall off to sleep. What an emotion that man had to write that Saundarya Lahari, etc. It's called Laharis. Ananda Lahari, Shivananda Lahari, Saundarya Lahari, Bhaja Govindam. There are so many hymns that he wrote. Not to talk about Atma Shatakam. When he went and when his guru asked who you are, he said, how did he start? Atma Shatakam. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham. Beautiful hymns. Tirelessly moving from place to place. Not only he wrote it, he ensured that he create an organization. Look at his organizational ability, Karma Yoga. இப்பெல்லாம் ஹார்வர்டையும் ஸ்டான்வர்ட்லையும் படிச்சு கூட 200 வருஷம் தாங்க மாட்டேன்றது ஒரு கம்பெனி, isn't it? A company is not surveying 150, 200 years also. அதுக்குள்ள அவ்வளோ இது. Look at this organizational ability. Unbroken parampara. Till date, the knowledge is kept. Till date, the institution, it means something at the foundation level is so strong that it is keeping it alive. The karma. So the karma in him is extraordinary. The bhakti in him is unparalleled. The jnanam is, the logic and reasoning in him is so incisive that it is something out of this, something out of the world. All these three put together in one man called Shankara. In 32 years, he accomplished all this. How he could have accomplished all this? He accomplished all this at the age of 32, he accomplished this. So when we read this Bhaja Govindam, we pay a lot of respect or gratitude to that man also. That's why we spend some, we say generally we don't talk about the glories like this so much. That's why the last 10 minutes I'm speaking. But still we have to speak about the glory of the person and saying thank you to him. We will move into the text next week, not today. We'll move into the text next week. For today, Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam means Moha Mudgara. Moha Mudgara, hammer. Yaar kaiyila and hammer irukudhu? Hammer First we understood the hammer. Now who's holding that hammer? Who's holding the hammer? Shankara is holding that hammer. Remember that. So his hammering is not destructive hammering. His hammering is, in fact, that is the only beneficial hammer in life. That is why hammer kuda yaar kaiyila irukundrathu mukkiyam. Who's holding the hammer is very important. So who's holding the hammer? Shankara is holding the hammer. So more Bhaja Govindam, what you should understand? Shankara holding the hammer. Abdinna, you will be first namaskara you will do to Shankara, the second namaskara to the hammer, isn't it? So two Sashtang namaskaras we will do. First namaskara to Shankara because he's holding it and knocking us. Second namaskara to whom? To the hammer also. The hammer and Shankara. So Bhaja Govindam means Mohamudgara. Mohamudgara means Shankaracharya holding the. So till we finish Bhaja Govindam, I don't know how many classes we will take to finish it. We don't know. Every class you should remember this definition. Somebody should write this definition. Bhaja Govindam means Shankara hammering. Shankara hammering. What is he going to hammer? That we will see from next week. With this, we conclude for today.